Hello, all you wonderful people out there. How are you all doing, PokeBuddies? Today I'm going to show you how I have created this build right here. This gravity build that is great for CC and also DPS. It's a good build against bosses and everything, and that is really PVE. I will also be showing a test build that I'm working on right now, like the stats and everything for it, after I show you this grab build. So, the stats you want to invest in, right, are going to be Vitality. You want 19 or 20. You want 19 or 20 Vitality in order to be able to keep up and tank a little bit. Due to the reason that this build is supposed to be a solo build. You could heal, you could tank, and you could also just go wide out with crowd control and also DPS. With this build, you're able to get MVPs easily. Like, in the past 20 or so battles I've done against MVP bosses, right? I have gotten MVP about 11 to 12 times. MVP is not that hard to get. It just helps you with everything else. Due to MVP not being that hard to get, what I mean by that is, in order to get MVP, there's a chart. You could get 30 points max with damage. You could get 10 points maxed with healing people and rezzing other people. And then you could get 10 points by not dying. If any of your party members go down, it reduces your chance of getting MVP because it gives you less of a score. If you die all 10 times, like 10 is the limit, 10 deaths in your party. If your party, anyone in your party dies 10 times, you won't be getting MVP most likely. Because someone that is just a random champion or crusader could just come in, hit the boss, and get MVP with the final blow. And yeah, that's really how it is. Don't die, do massive damage, and then just heal and res everyone. Now, if you're within 25 points of anyone else, like that has got some max amount of points, right? You could still get MVP, and there's a little bit of room for error with damage or with healing or with rezzing people. Or even like going down once or twice. As long as everyone else like at least one person in everyone else's party goes down, you still have a chance. You just need to be within that 25 points. If there's multiple people at the top within 25 points of each other, it's just basically a luck roll. Let's say there's 3 people. That means you have a 1 in 3rd chance to get MVP then. Because it'll randomly pick whoever it is. If you're within the 25 points on the top. Now, so this build is 19 in Vitality, 99 in Intelligence, 48 in Dex. It keeps on going up and down with Blessing. It increases and decreases for your bonuses, which is nice. But you want to get that prime number, or not prime number, you want to get to that HP. You want to get at least 12,000 HP in order to be able to tank with at least 600 defense. You could go magic defense a little bit less, around 280, but the more the better. Magic attack is at 1007 due to Bless being on me right now. But variable casting time is at minus 79. My equipment right now is not good for the reason that I'm just using the level 70 gear Thorn of Staff Darkness 1. I have it at +8. I have my magic coat on that gives me variable casting time at +7. I got my level 80 gear Valkyrie shield. This does a lot. Normally it's not like this, but I have modified it a little bit in order to give me some more better defense with it. So you want to have the enchantment that goes towards benediction and magic defense with this. You want Refined Defense, which is fine. And you want to get Ancient Mummy card. Ancient Mummy card is great to have. With your Thorn Staff of Darkness, Zenrock card and Marina card are good. However, if you could get a Drac card, so Dracula, that would be better. I would switch that out with the Zenrock. And then, I don't have the accessories yet, but you want an Expert Ring 2-slotted accessory. For the reason that you're going to need at least 3 slots for cards. But you may be saying, like, why don't you get the level 85 accessories? Those are so much better. No, they're not for a High Wizard Gravity build. The Expert Ring and also Spiritual Ring are the best for High Wizard. I can prove to you right now by just showing you. So skill global cooldown, you need that to be able to recast faster. So that's a really good thing. SP consumption is a little high, but with this build, as long as you got Steam Crab Nippers up and going, you won't really be taking, like, you'll go through about 500 pots, or even less than that, within about 8 to 9 days. And that's going all out. I've tested this by playing a lot. It's really good. It's really SP efficient. Now, oh yeah, so now you want to have the Valkyrie shield, like I said. You want to get the Frildora card for the hood. This hood isn't all that good. Neither is that cloak. That cloak is nice for variable casting time, but I'm going to show you, like, what's the better level 80 gear to get. These shoes are just being able to be healed with heal 1 and also heal others at a high amount, and to give you HP recovery and SP recovery with Merman card. It's not all that good. But, so the cards you want to get for your build are going to be bookmarketed right here. You want to be able to get the Marina card for the reason that it has the freeze chance. You want the poison chance with Zenrock card unless you could be able to get the Dracula card by getting MVP. But this is all free to play. The Requiem card right here for Fear. So when you get 3 slotted weapon, there you go. For you want a Megalodon card for freeze resistance. You want to get the Agros card for Petrify resistance and the Ancient Mummy. During certain bosses, you'll have to keep on switching out the Agros card and Megalodon card. That's why I have them on there. And also in PvP, it's better to have the Megalodon card. Because the Megalodon card will give you freeze resistance, and in the current meta, people are freezing, not silencing or petrifying. Ancient Mummy, like I said, Signum Crucis is, it is what is needed. Like, it is really good in PvP and PvE. The Peko Peko card is just for max HP to go along with the Cornatus card for Armor Unbreakable. Frildora card, you'll want 2 of those once you unlock your 2 slotted cloaks. Or, not cloaks, but capes. Merman card is great to be able to have SP recovery, max HP, HP recovery. And then you want the Zoe card. Zoe card will give you SP recovery and max HP. So every time one of those food buffs go off, like, you'll be able to receive more SP from them. The Vitata card is for heal 1, and the Oberon card is to get recovery. Like, heal 1 gives you the chance to heal people, while Oberon card gives you recovery level 1, so you could help your party out and make it where the priest has a little bit less stress on their hands. What your goal is, as a High Wizard, is to be crowd control, so CC, while also dealing heavy damage if you can or cannot, and to be able to support the party. That is your goal. That's what you need to do. So when we go to the cards, for the accessories, like I said, Vitata and Oberon are necessary. I recommend getting those 2 first, and then getting 2 Mimic cards. 1 at the very least, but with the level 80 gear, you're going to need 2. So, you need 2 of these to get extra damage and also variable casting time. For your headgear, sleep resistance is the best one because, like I said earlier, freeze and they're doing freeze mostly as the meta within PvP, but they're also making people go to sleep in PvP. And it's great to have in PvE also due to some bosses loving to put you to sleep or freezing you. Okay, so those are the cards you want, and it's just what I recommend for PvE. If you get MVP with some cards that are better, use those. This is just bare bones, like what is going to be the best for level 80. Now, with your accessories, what you want is to be, not your accessories, but your gears. You want to be able to either get the Thorn Staff of Darkness too, for the skill global cooldown, because that is really good, and magic attack for the +1 refinement. But I've been looking through here, and I have noticed that this Chronos is really good to use, and also the Mighty Staff. However, even though they have higher magic attack, you're not going to be bulky enough in order to tank any hits at all, really. So, what I really recommend is getting the Thorn Staff of Darkness for level 80 gear. Like, it's going to be your best bet. Because as a high wizard, you want to do crowd control and also support, so you need skill global cooldown. You also need CC. I already said that, but you also need to be able to have variable casting time. That is why, when it comes to the shield, we're getting this for basically the defenses here against undead, shadow, fire, and water. Bonus defenses and resistances. Then we want the sprint mill. It may look good because of the variable casting time, because this is really good for defense, max HP, variable casting time, magic attack, and refining it. But once you get the set, you got your global cooldown percent right there, and your max magic, max HP, magic damage. So you want to get the set. You want to be able to get that, the Rider Insignia, because it'll give you intelligence and dex, and a little bit of magic defense for every 2. And then you want the shoes, the sprint shoes. Those give you a high amount of intelligence if you get to a +15. But getting to a +6 is bare minimum. Like, you could do a lot at a +6. Because the main goal of this set is to lower your cooldown. And like I said, the accessories are not good. Like, attack, wrong one, but as you can tell, the attack and all that isn't really good to have, of course. But magic attack. It may give you more magic attack. However, your goal is not to be doing really DPS. Leave that up to the archers. Yes, you'll do high DPS as a wizard, but your goal is to get the lower casting time. That's why if you go to the level 65 gears right here, the expert ring 2, skill global cooldown 2%, and if refined to a +5, you get skill global cooldown -5%. Now, with your ring, other ring, you want spiritual ring. Intelligence, dex, and for every +2, variable casting time -1%. And if you get it to a +10, you get a little bit of extra magic attack, which is a nice bonus. But you want that variable cooldown, and also that skill global cooldown. So right now, as you can see, it's 2.1 seconds for me cast Gravity. If a priest ends up buffing me with Suff, if they buff me with Suff, that brings it down to a 1.1. And if I use a 3-star Scallops and 3-star Dex Pots, I could actually be able to bring it down to a 0.8 second cast. Remember, use your food buffs before you get Suff, because there's a glitch going on with the Angeling server in the North America. So North American continents, that is really just causing people to not be able to get the maximum they can out of those food buffs. When someone uses Suff before you use the food buffs don't add on to the Suff. what happens is the stuff takes priority and the food buffs don't work as well. But if you do the food buffs before, it'll lower your casting time, then stuff goes on it, and it lowers it even more. Now for your skills. I recommend having it where with your first job here, you have 10 Firebolt, you have 5 Firewall, 10 Cold Bolt. These are for single target farming, but also to do massive elemental damage. There's not really that much that really needs Lightning Bolt that you could just use Grav on and just be fine. So that's why we don't do Lightning Bolt. We need the Firewall at least at 5. This makes it where you're at 40-40, so you could be able to efficiently put your points in. But 5 Firewall is great for CC. What it does is gives you the 80%. Right now there's the coding errors here. They forgot to actually code it properly. What they need to do is put this right in here. Or no, sorry, for the coding, because they're using Python. So they would take this, put it over here, for if they were going to, like, say it's 1 second. But if you actually want it to show just a 1 that's embroidered, you put that over here. So that's where they messed up. This +0, they have it as the integer being wrong within their code. It's supposed to give you round plus, I believe, 100 fire magic damage or 120. It's not supposed to be 0. That's completely wrong. But you got this for casting time here. And SP cost is 68, so it's kind of high. Use it as you need it. You got your Zenhard at 10. You have Sight 1 and Sight Thrasher for when you're versing invisible enemies, but you're not going to need that. This is where I messed up. I would put the 10 instead of Sight Thrasher. I would have put them in Fire Pillar, because having Fire Pillar is a lot better for CC. And then I would kept the Sight though, but putting the 10 in Fire Pillar. You need the Sight just to be able to see enemies better, but they're going to be too close to you for it to even matter. So gravity down on you, you're fine. Safety Wall, Quagmire, Alton. You could put that 1 in Earth Spike if you wanted to. It helps. It really does. But Napalm Vulcan 5, Gravity 5, 1 Ganbenton. Ganbenton seems more like a PvP skill. However, you could use it in PvP. There are some bosses that, like in Extreme Challenge, right, in EC, there are some bosses that put like blood pools. So Baphomet, it puts a blood pool in there. This actually, I haven't been able to test this, but I've been theorizing it. So next time I do EC, I'm going to test it. I'll give an update down in the comments when that happens. But it really, it works. It works for a lot of lingering on the ground spells that are from monsters and players. So it's both PvE and PvP. You of course want 10 in Mystical Amplification, and you want to start working towards Elemental Awareness to be able to increase your ghost skill damage. Once you get that done, you could start putting into Elemental Resistance. Because the Soul Drain, you're never going to use it during farming. So Elemental Resistance will be good to have. So after so you go this, that, then that, and then that, in order to start putting in. So with your setup, here's your basic setups. You got 2 of them right here. For PVE, you got your Cold Bolt, your Fire Bolt, your Heal 1. Once you're able to get Recovery 1, switch that out with Napalm Vulcan, because you won't need Napalm Vulcan anymore to curse. You have your skill tree here, and you got Grav. The only 3 that change are up here. So you put your Firewall, you put your Safety Wall. You never have that in your skill tree. You want Safety Wall being out so you could cast it on party members faster. And you got Ganbenton. So the only spot you would be putting Recovery would be Napalm Vulcan. Now, with your bonus, that's all good. Having your bonuses are really nice. Your lineup for your skill tree is just this. It is just this, unless you purposely go and get going against stuff that you know is going to be invisible, like in Helheim Hard when it's the Drake ship. Then you put that there and Quagmire to the side, because there's a glitch going on also that if you have Quagmire in between any two spells, it'll get stuck on Quagmire more and make it where you gotta put like 20 of them down before you're able to switch. But if you want to know a work around that glitch, all you need to do is do this. It'll happen less. But let's say I'm trying to put Quagmire down, right? Let's say I try to put Quagmire down, but it doesn't work. It doesn't switch, right? Just putting Quagmire down like that. See? It doesn't switch because the next in line wasn't there, but it should switch because of sight. See, it's supposed to switch between the two. But if you put Quag, it gets stuck and it's not working, just switch to heal and then just do Quag again. Do any other spell and it'll reset this. So it'll make it where you could actually use it. So that is a good thing to have. And I don't care about my pots right now because I'm just trying to show this real quick. So those are your skills for when you're actively doing stuff. But when you're doing auto, it's just simple. You take this out and you just use this. That's all you need for auto. You just need heal 1 and gravity. If you got your alts running with you just as backup that are high wizards, it's still all you need. That is really all you need. Like every now and then I recommend putting Firewall on there in order to have a little bit more CC with your alts running on auto as basically extra mercs. But if you just are playing just by yourself, all you need is heal 1 and gravity. Once you start this build, all you're going to be really doing is being on this page, using this in order to get your Quagmire off. You're not really going to be using it for your energy coat that much, but energy coat is nice. And then you're going to be using gravity and heal 1 on party members while putting safety wall on them. So you see how my mercenary right there is right there. If I click on him, so it shows up here, right? So let me cancel auto. So I click on him, so it shows up. If you just quick click, it will put the safety wall on him as a quick cast. It's quick casting, also known as fast casting. It is a really good thing to have. You just put it to a party member, that's what you do. And if you don't want to target them anymore, just click the X. If you can't click the X, just click this, and it usually just gets rid of their thing once you do auto, and then stop auto. So that is really it. Now, if you wanted to go with your, with having your build for PvP, I really recommend just going Magic Crasher build. So Magic Crasher build is the best one for that. So let me butterfly wing out here. And this build is still in testing phases, so I really don't know if it's going to be the best for PvP. However, it seems like it has potential. As a high wizard in PvP, your downfall is going to be, like, your bane of your existence as a high wizard is going to be assassins and snipers. So assassin, crosses, and snipers are your bane. So you want to be able to cast fast in order to get them gone. That's what you need. You need to try to do as much quick casting as you can. So as you can see, I got it as PvP MC, so Magic Crasher test build. So what you want is the 47 in agility, 20 in vitality, so you're not squishy, 99 intelligence. You may say like, oh, isn't the agility for the skill global cooldown like how it is affected by Magic Crasher? Yes. But once you hit like 45, it becomes ineligible. 47 if you really want it basically be a 0.1 second. Or even less than that. Like, here. So the skills for it are going to be not DPS EC grab, but PvP MC. You want to put 5 Firebolt, 5 Soul Strike. You want to put in 10 for Firewall for CC. You want to put 5 into Cold Bolt. You want 10 in Frost Diver. Frost Diver is going to be your single target freezing spell, and Firewall is going to be your CC. None in Zenheart, only 5 in Stone Curse if you want to try Petrify, because it doesn't really get that much higher. Every level is only 3% more, but you want that 50% chance, so it's 1 and 2. So having Petrify status is good. Having the Frozen status is good. Having Firewall for basically surrounding yourself and also your allies against the enemies so the enemies can't get close. There you go. Your assassins won't be able to go through that Firewall unless they hit it like it is literally 10 times. Because Firewall, it does a lot more, but it affects up to 10 targets. Up to 10 times. That's what it does. Doesn't say that right now because of the glitch in the coding, and the coding is a little bit wrong, but it affects them 10 times up to 10 enemies. So it won't let them pass through. Fire Pillar. Fire Pillar is literally a 0.11 second cast time with this build, and a 0.8 second global recovery. This is good. This is basically, you lie them in wait. You got to, as a high wizard, like, estimate where people are going to be. Sight is on here, and Sight Thrasher, just to be able to take care of those assassins. You'll be able to see them with Sight, and then Sight Thrasher will be able to let you cast this instantly to be able to do a little bit extra chip damage before you start attacking them with Magic Crasher or Fire Pillar. 5 in Water Ball and 3 in Storm Gust, you're not going to be using those. You want 10 Safety Wall, 10 Quagmire. So now you want to go Napalm Vulcan for quick casting with Ghost, because it's 0.4 seconds. And then you want Magic Crasher being at a level 5. So with this, it says it's neutral, and it's subject to attack speed. Casting time and cooldown being both neutral literally makes it where it's an instant cast, basically. Gabenton, taking care of other people's spells or ground traps, that's what you're going to use that for. And as you can see, it's still fast. Not as fast as I would like, but as we level up, we'll be putting more into attack speed. Or not attack speed, but we're going to be putting more into dex for casting. You want this maxed at 10, and then after you get magical amplification, you start putting in Frost Nova. You may say, well, Frost Nova takes a long time because of the 1.84 seconds, and then when it levels up to level 10, it like gets higher. And I'm just gonna show you the way around that right now. Like, the way around that is going to be using using this. You got your healing effect to be able to heal in defensive, like PvP and PVE if you need to heal your allies. You got your magic attack up, so you do a little bit extra damage. Frost Mastery level 2 is what you need. Frost Mastery level 2 will give you your Frost Nova make an instant skill. Skill global cooldown will be increased, but this is a last ditch effort. That is what this is about. Having Frost Mastery is your last ditch effort. If you're about to die, you use that. So therefore, you're able to, like, freeze the enemy, have a chance to freeze them, in order for your allies to get them before you respawn in PvP. So magic defense is just a little extra to be able to make you where you're not squishy. It's just what you need for it. Still, with both of these, so with the PvE one, the gravity build, just dex pots and scallops. Those are all you're using for food buff and potion buff. Unless you're farming, then you use steam crab nippers. Now, with the PvP build right there, you're going to need intelligence pots and scallops still. The scallops are going to give you your variable casting time and skill global cooldown. So it'll be, your fixed casting time and variable casting time. So it's less for your other spells. So that's why you're going to need 3 stars. If you're really going heavily into it, you need to do that. Each day with a cooking session, if you get your cooking up to a level 11, like cooking and pharmacy to level 11. You got your success rate at 17% for getting extra rewards from each one, and your success rate here at 87. Now, what I would recommend doing is leveling up cooking so you can get your meal prep in order to unlock your seafood fried rice recipe for variable casting minus 10% and fixed casting minus 5% while also having a little bit of max HP. And then I also recommend having your pharmacy upgraded to level 14 in order to get, forgot which one it is. It's the intelligence and dex ones. Here you go. This is the one you want right here. Because that's intelligence plus 15, dex plus 7, that's faster casting time, and also higher damage. So you'll want to start going into that for PvP, and also higher level PVEs. So I recommend try and get these to 11 at first with your cooking so you could make your own scallops for cheaper. The whole reason why getting this to 11 is not for the pharmacy, is not for like luck potions. You're not using luck potions. All you're using is dex and intelligence. It is so you could be able to have a higher success rate and sell off what you don't need, because you're going to need money. You're going to need eating coins. That is your whole thing with this. So I hope this is a little bit better to understand. Here's the skill layout for the PvP setting. You have your skill tree here, you have your heal 1, you have your frost nova, your safety wall for allies, you have your fire pillar, you have your magic casting here, or magic crasher. And then on the other one, the only things that change is just those three. You have sight thrasher, you have firewall, and then you have soul strike. Reason why soul strike is just be able to have the fast casting and be able to do a little bit extra chip damage. Now, your things that are unlocked for your support are pretty good here, but your lineup is just going to be Energy Coat, Quagmire, Gambenton, and Sight. Because as you saw before, Safety Wall was right here on both of them. But before you go into battle, set the Sight, set Energy Coat, get ready for Quagmire, get that on the field where it needs to go, and then after you're done with Quagmire, have Gambenton on the line, because that's what you're going to need. But make sure the tank, if you're in an EC, gets to one spot so you're able to cast it on them, but usually quick cast instead of single cast. Firewall is going to be good in order to have down on the field, in order to protect you, but Magic Crasher is lackluster with damage. All it is really is to cause the opponents to be staggered a little bit when you do it, for the reason that it's not going to do that much damage. I'll go in Court Forest to show you right now. So we're going back to Court Forest, and I'll just pick a random target. It's only going to do about like 1,000 damage or so, but it is worth it when you're versing an assassin or you're versing a archer, because you're going to be able to keep up with their attacking. So here, see how fast it goes? It's only doing like little damage right now, but having Fire Pillar out will be your main source of damage. You could stack 3 Fire Pillars going, and that's really it. Once they get close to the Fire Pillar, they're going to be screwed. So 3 Fire Pillars stacked will be able to do massive damage to them. By massive, I mean mediocre with only like 4,000 or so. But it will be able to help you with CC, and then putting Firewall down. And then going back to that, like, it's going to be able to give you a little bit of extra time to stagger your enemies and be able to just keep on dealing damage. So I hope you all like this video and it helps you with the High Wizard build in order to be able to just have a fun time and enjoy the game. Have a little bit higher chance in PvP and also PvE while being free to play. You could do this all free to play with this. So, hope you have a great day and a fun time. I hope everything goes well. And I hope you all get better, because I know sickness is going around, and I really hope none of you get it. Shiny luck and happy hunting, PokeBuddies.